Anybody who got their shotgun ready when you get ready to tell them something? Hey, you know before you get ready to tell them they get ready, you can't even get it. I got it. They blow your idea out the water before you can say, I got an idea. Straight up. I got one who just, I love him. I got one, I call him the cloud. Because he just come raining on my little parade with his little dark cloud. Here he come. I said, here he come. He gonna get rain on, I'd be happy. Well, and he just gives me 5 things. And it's good to have those people in your life. But man, sometimes you need people that's going to support you and give you reasons why you can do it. Because you already think you can.
Right. Amen.
So we've got to get to the mindset where we change our thinking and start to believe the things that God says to us, and understand that if it didn't work one time, it doesn't mean that it's not going to work. We may have to change the blueprint. Did you hear what I said? It's not about it's not happening. Sometimes I got to change the blueprint. Sometimes I got to change how I'm going to do it. Yes, I wanted to ride in a certain car to my destiny, but it might be a Pinto. As long as I get to my destiny, that's all that matters. And yes, Aunt Cindy might ride to her destiny in a Mercedes-Benz, but I might get there in a Pinto, and I can't be upset that my Pinto is getting me where I'm going.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
We're getting there.
That's right.
Learn to change the blueprint.
Amen.
He says, be grateful. So we're going to talk about, that's what we're working on, being grateful. The second thing he says, don't be anxious for nothing. The reason why some of us are struggling with anxiety is because we're worried about things we can't control. We're creating things that are in our lives that don't even exist because of your past and your thoughts. You've already defeated yourself before you stepped in the building. You've already said that you're not going to get the job because you've convinced yourself you're not a good interviewer. That was prophetic for somebody. Some people won't interview because they say, I'm not a good interviewer, I don't know how to talk, I clam up. You now accept that and you become that. And now you're the subtotal of your thoughts.
Yeah.
That's right.
So you're stuck at the job because you won't interview because you don't think you're going to be able to do good.
That's right. That's right.
Doubting yourself. He's going to preach with me. He's going to put ties right here with me.
I
love it.
We become the subtotal of our thoughts. What happens is, he says, be not anxious for nothing, right? And he said, just ask. Just ask. Make your request known. Right? And then he said, from that, the peace is going to come upon you. That's where I'm not going to struggle with anxiety. When I rejoice always and I get myself together and I'm not anxious for nothing. Now all of a sudden the peace comes on me. Now I'm walking around with this confidence and I accepted the fact that God has me. So it changes the whole gamut of what I'm going through. Now my circumstance and condition no longer dictate my mood. Now my state of mind is changing. So what do I do now? I impact it with my thoughts. The third thing he says, fix your thoughts. Fix your thoughts on what's good. Fix your thoughts on the beneficial things. We don't want to do that because you know why? We like to deal with reality. But in the gospel, in God, we deal on the things that are not as though they were. That means I may be tired, but I'm not tired. So I speak the things that are not as though they're actually happening. That's the scripture.
Yes.
You say you're being fake. I'm not being fake. I'm speaking the things that I'm not as though they exist.
Yes. Yes.
Do y'all see how we bought into the world? So now I'm just keeping it real, preach, because that's what we do. No, God ain't tell us to keep it real. God said to keep it as it exists in heaven, and that's how my thoughts supposed to be. So even I'm not going to say I'm broke. I'm not broke. I'm rich.
Amen.
If you say it long enough, you now believe it.
That's right.
Your focus. I did an exercise this week. Your focus. Has anybody ever seen, or you were looking at a car, and all of a sudden the car that you were getting ready to buy, or the car that you bought, all of a sudden now you see that car everywhere. You never noticed the car
before,
up until the time you bought it.
That's right. That's right.
But now every time you see it, because your focus, your mind focuses on the things that you have and you want. So, if you want positive things to happen, you have to focus your mind on positive things. Then positive people come to you. Then all of a sudden, someone comes up to you in the Starbucks and all of a sudden says, hey, let me buy you a coffee. If someone says, let me buy you a coffee, why can't somebody say, let me give you $1 million? cool. But we can't even believe that or fathom that, and we can't even step into that thinking because we think we condition ourselves to what has been. But that's what the forgetting those things that are behind us is all about.
Amen.
This is a mind condition. We can't get ready for what God has for us if we don't condition our mind. This is a practice that we have to wake up every single day. And this is the reason why some of us are going to separate from the pack, because some of y'all don't want to believe it because you want to be where you are. You want to be negative. You like being negative because you don't know nothing else. You like being upset because you don't know nothing else. You don't know how to be happy because you don't know nothing else. Your mama wasn't happy. Your daddy was unhappy. Your aunties is unhappy. Your uncles is unhappy. Everybody's unhappy. So this is my life. This is what we do. We just mad, we bitter, we cuss, we fuss. That's how we love each other. No, I rebuke that. That's not my life. I'm not going to accept that. I'm going to accept love. I'm going to accept peace. I'm going to accept joy. And if you don't want it, then you can't be in my circle. If you don't want what I want, then you can't be around me, because you're going to mess up the vibe. Please don't mess my vibe. Please don't mess my vibe. You're going to mess my vibe up. That's why folk who smoke, they don't want nobody around who ain't ready to go on the ride. Get out of the smoking circle, because you're going to mess up the vibe.